I am Emma Wright, and for 7 years, Daniel Harper was the center of my world. Emma, slow down, Daniel said softly as I adjusted his tie. You're always rushing. I just want you to look perfect, I replied, smiling. What if someone important sees you today? He laughed. You're already more nervous than I am. I'm invested, I said. That's what partners do. He kissed my forehead. That's why I trust you. Those words stayed with me. Trust. I built my life around it. That night, we sat on the couch, my legs curled under me, his arm heavy around my shoulders. The TV played something neither of us watched. When we get married, I said quietly, I want a small wedding. He hummed. You always say that. I mean it, I said. Just close family. Simple. Daniel didn't answer right away. I felt it, that tiny pause. Daniel? I asked. He smiled. We'll talk about it. I laughed it off. You always say that. That's because we have time, he said. Why rush something perfect? Perfect. I nodded, even though my chest tightened. His sister Lily visited the next day. She sat across from me at the table, stirring her tea without drinking it. You've been busy lately, she said. Daniel's work has been intense, I replied. I try to support him. She looked at me for a long second. You always do. What does that mean? I asked. She shook her head. Nothing. Daniel walked in then, breaking the moment. What are you two whispering about? Emma's cooking, Lily said quickly. It smells good. Later, when Lily left, I asked, did she say something strange to you? Daniel frowned. You're overthinking. Am I? I asked. He sighed and pulled me close. Emma, listen to me. I love you. I love you too, I said immediately. Then trust me, he said. Just wait a little longer. Those words again. Wait. How long? I asked, forcing a smile. Not long, he said. I promise. Promises were easy for him. For me, they were anchors. That night, I lay awake beside him, listening to his breathing. My phone buzzed with a message from Lily. Are you okay? I stared at the screen. Of course, I typed. Why wouldn't I be? 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. I turned the phone face down. The next morning, Daniel hugged me before leaving. Thank you for always being patient, he said. I'll wait, I replied. I always do. He smiled, satisfied, and walked away. I watched the door close, ignoring the quiet voice inside me that whispered something was wrong. I told myself love meant trust, and trust meant waiting. So I stayed still, holding on to his promise, choosing love over doubt. Not knowing this was the moment everything began to crack. I heard Daniel's voice before I saw him. I said next month, he whispered. Yes, everything is arranged. I froze in the hallway, my hand still on the doorframe. No, she doesn't know, he continued. There's no need to upset her yet. My heart started pounding. She. I held my breath. Sophia, please, he said. I'm handling it. The name cut through me. Daniel? I called softly. Silence. Then the door opened. He looked startled. Emma. You're home early. Who is Sophia? I asked. He glanced behind him, then stepped aside. Come in. I ask you something, I said. Who is Sophia? He closed the door slowly. She's my fiancée. The word felt unreal. I laughed once. That's not funny. I'm not joking, he said. My chest burned. You're engaged? Yes. To who? I demanded. To someone I don't know? She comes from a good family, he said carefully. They help with business. So, this is business? I asked. 7 years with me was what, practice? Emma, listen, he said. I didn't plan it like this. Then how did you plan it? I asked. By lying to me? I was forced, he said quickly. You know my parents. You know the pressure. So you agreed, I said. You chose her. I chose stability, he replied. I thought you'd understand. I stared at him. You thought I'd understand being replaced? He rubbed his face. Don't make it sound cruel. Cruel is hearing your engagement from a phone call, I said. The door opened again. Marcus Reed stood there, holding a folder. "Oh," he said quietly. "I didn't realize you were here." "Marcus," I said, my voice shaking. "Did you know?" He avoided my eyes. "It's complicated." That was answer enough. "You all knew," I whispered. Daniel stepped closer. "Emma, calm down." "Don't touch me," I said. He stopped. "I still care about you." I laughed again, but it came out broken. "You care, but you're marrying someone else." "It doesn't change what we had," he said. "It changes everything," I replied. Marcus shifted uncomfortably. "I'll wait outside." When the door closed, Daniel said, "Please don't make this harder." "I didn't make it hard," I said. "You did." "I just need you to wait," he said. "Let things settle." "Wait for what?" I asked. "For you to feel less guilty?" He didn't answer. My throat tightened. "Say it clearly. Are you choosing her?" He looked at me, calm and distant. "Yes." Something inside me cracked. I nodded slowly. "Then I'm done." "Emma." "I won't scream," I said. "I won't beg." He looked relieved. That hurt the most. I grabbed my bag. "Tell Sophia congratulations." He didn't stop me. As I walked past Marcus, he finally looked at me. "I'm sorry." I didn't respond. Outside, the air felt too quiet. I walked until my legs shook. No tears came. My phone buzzed, but I didn't check it. I realized heartbreak wasn't loud. It didn't explode. It collapsed inward, silently, like a building falling into itself. I kept walking, carrying 7 years inside my chest, knowing the life I believed in had ended, not with anger, but with calm words that destroyed me completely. I vanished from Daniel's life without warning. My phone kept lighting up, but I never answered. "Say something," Rachel Moore said as she sat on my bed. "Anything." "I don't have words," I replied. She picked up the watch from my table. "He gave you this." "I know." "Are you keeping it?" she asked. "I don't know how to throw away 7 years," I said. She sighed. "Emma, you don't have to protect him." "I'm not protecting him," I said. "I'm protecting myself." She crossed her arms. "By staying silent." "Yes." Rachel shook her head. "Silence looks like permission." I didn't answer. I stared at my phone instead. Daniel's name filled the screen again. "I need to explain." I turned the phone face down. Rachel picked up an old photo. "You look happy here." "I was," I said. "Or, I thought I was." "You still love him," she said. "I don't know what I feel," I replied. "Everything feels hollow." "That's shock," she said. "It passes." "What if it doesn't?" I asked. She softened. "Then we survive it." After she left, the room felt heavier. I opened my drawer and found old messages printed out, words I once believed. "I'll never hurt you." I laughed quietly. "You already did." My phone buzzed again. This time, it wasn't Daniel. "Emma, it's Lily." I hesitated before replying. "What do you want?" "To check on you," she wrote. "Please." I typed slowly. "I'm fine." A lie. "He didn't mean to hurt you," she sent. I stared at the screen. "Then why did he?" Dots appeared, then stopped. "Things were complicated," she finally wrote. "More than you know." That made my chest tighten. Complicated enough to lie to me for months? She didn't answer. I put the phone down and sat on the floor. The watch slipped from my fingers and hit the ground. "Good," I whispered. "Break." It didn't. The next day, Rachel called again. "He came by your office." "I quit," I said. "You what?" she asked. "I couldn't breathe there," I replied. "You're running." "No," I said. "I'm stopping." She paused. "He's worried." I laughed. "Now?" "Yes," she said. "He asked about you." "Tell him nothing," I replied. "Emma." "Please," I said. "Just don't." Silence followed. I realized how loud it was. That night, I sat with the photo again. My finger hovered over delete. "You don't deserve this," I told myself. I deleted it. My phone buzzed once more. Lily again.
He misses you, she wrote.
I closed my eyes. Missing someone doesn't undo choices.
I know, she replied.
But he thinks you'll come back. That stopped me. Why would he think that? I asked. Because you're quiet, she wrote. He thinks silence means waiting. My hands trembled. I finally understood something important. My silence wasn't strength to them. It was weakness. It was permission. And if I didn't change that, they would keep rewriting my pain as patience. I put the phone down and whispered into the empty room. I'm not waiting anymore. I saw Sophia Collins for the first time at the company event. She stood beside Daniel, her hand wrapped around his arm like it belonged there. So this is where you work, she said brightly, her eyes landing on me. You must be Emma. Yes, I replied. I am. Daniel stiffened. Sophia. She smiled wider. I've heard so much about you. Have you? I asked. Of course, she said. Daniel talks about you like family. Family. I nodded. Congratulations on the engagement. Her fingers tightened on his sleeve. Thank you. We're very happy. Daniel didn't look at me. That's good, I said. Happiness matters. Sophia tilted her head. You're very calm. I don't see the point of a scene, I replied. She laughed softly. I admire that. I didn't answer. I walked away before my legs gave out. Later, in the restroom, I locked myself in a stall. My phone buzzed. Please don't misunderstand. Daniel texted. I typed back. There is nothing left to misunderstand. He replied instantly. Let's talk. No, I sent. We're past that. I stared at my reflection afterward. My face looked pale but steady. I won't beg, I whispered. I won't explain. Back at my desk, Marcus avoided me again. I ignored him. I stood up and walked straight to the top floor. Henry Lawson looked up as I entered his office. Emma? I'm resigning, I said. He studied me quietly. Sit down. I did. You helped build this department, he said. Why now? Because staying hurts more than leaving, I replied. He nodded once. Is this about Daniel? Yes, I said honestly. He leaned back. You're not angry. I was, I said. Now I'm clear. He smiled slightly. That's dangerous. For who? I asked. For people who underestimated you, he replied. I slid the resignation letter across the desk. I don't want revenge. Henry raised an eyebrow. No. I want freedom, I said. I want to become someone they can't touch. He folded his hands. If you're willing to learn, I can help. I met his eyes. I am. Good, he said. Quiet strength lasts longer than noise. I left the office lighter. Daniel waited near the elevators. You're quitting? Yes, I said. Why? He asked. You're throwing everything away. No, I replied. I'm taking myself back. You don't have to do this, he said. I can fix things. You already chose not to, I said. He reached for my arm. Emma, please. I stepped back. Don't. He dropped his hand. I won't expose you, I said. Not yet. Yet, he asked. I smiled faintly. I'm choosing a better ending. The elevator doors closed between us. As I stepped outside, the air felt sharp and real. My chest still hurt, but my mind was steady. I finally understood something important. Rock bottom wasn't the end. It was the place where I stopped bleeding for people who never planned to stay. I chose myself there, quietly, and that choice changed everything. I packed my life into 2 suitcases and stood in the empty apartment. My phone rang. Daniel. I watched it until the screen went dark. A few hours later, I was sitting across from my mother at her kitchen table. You look tired, Evelyn Wright said. Not just from travel. I'm leaving, I said. The city. The job. Everything. She didn't look surprised. I wondered when you would. You don't think I'm running? I asked. She shook her head. I think you stayed longer than you should have. I swallowed. I thought loyalty meant enduring. She reached for my hand. Loyalty shouldn't mean erasing yourself. I stared at the table. I learned early that people leave. Her fingers tightened. Because your father left? Yes, I said quietly. I thought if I stayed useful, if I stayed kind, no one would walk away again. She sighed. Emma, love isn't a debt you pay. I know that now, I said. She studied my face. You're different. I'm trying to be, I replied. My phone buzzed again on the counter. Daniel. My mother glanced at it. You don't have to answer. I won't, I said. I picked it up and turned it face down. That's new, she said gently. I used to believe silence kept people close, I said. Now I know it only kept me small. She smiled. I'm proud of you. The next morning, I met Henry Lawson for coffee. You're sure about the move? He asked. Yes, I said. I need distance. I made some calls, he said. There's a position opening. Different city. Fresh start. I nodded. I'll take it. He watched me carefully. You didn't ask about salary. I don't want comfort, I said. I want growth. He smiled. You'll do well. On the train, the city faded behind me. My phone buzzed again. Daniel. I didn't block him. I didn't delete his number. I just didn't answer. A message followed.
Please talk to me.
I whispered. No. Across the aisle, a woman smiled at me. First time moving? Yes, I said. It's scary, she said. It's necessary, I replied. When I arrived, the apartment was small but quiet. I set my bags down and sat on the floor.
My phone rang again.
Daniel. I let it ring until it stopped. Something inside me shifted. Not relief.
Control.
That night, my mother called. Did you arrive safely? Yes, I said. I'm okay. Are you lonely? She asked. A little, I admitted. But it feels clean. She laughed softly. That's peace. After we hung up, I looked at my phone one last time. Missed calls. Messages. Silence, waiting to be broken. I put the phone in a drawer. For the first time, I wasn't reacting. I wasn't explaining. I wasn't waiting. I was choosing. I lay on the bed and closed my eyes, listening to a city that didn't know me yet. My heart still ached, but it no longer owned me. I had walked away without looking back, and in that quiet movement, I felt something powerful return to my hands. I didn't expect to see Daniel at the conference. Emma, his voice said behind me. I turned slowly. Daniel. He stared for a second too long. You look different. I feel different, I replied. He swallowed. You didn't tell me you were coming. I didn't think I needed to, I said. Nathan Brooks stepped beside me, holding a folder. Our panel starts in 10 minutes. Yes, I said. Thank you. Daniel's eyes moved to him. And you are? Nathan Brooks, he said calmly. Client. Partner on the North project. Daniel forced a smile. Daniel Harper. Nathan nodded politely. I've heard the name. I could feel Daniel's discomfort. It didn't thrill me. It just existed. We should catch up, Daniel said quickly. Privately. I'm busy, I replied. It won't take long, he insisted. Nathan glanced at me. I'll wait by the hall.
Thanks, I said.
When Nathan left, Daniel exhaled. You've changed. You said that already, I replied. You're cold, he said. That's not like you. I learned, I said. He frowned. Learned what? That I don't owe everyone access, I replied. He laughed nervously. You're punishing me. No, I said. I'm protecting myself. He stepped closer. I tried to call you. I know, I said. Why didn't you answer? He asked. Because I didn't want to, I replied. That seemed to unsettle him more than anger ever had. You used to want explanations, he said. I used to want honesty, I replied. He looked down. I was confused. I was faithful, I said. Silence stretched. You don't hate me, he said finally. No, I admitted. I don't. That's worse, he said. I almost smiled. Emma, he said softly. Don't you want closure? I met his eyes. I already have it. He searched my face. When I stopped needing you to explain yourself, I said. Nathan returned. 5 minutes. I nodded. I'm coming. Daniel reached out but stopped himself. You really don't care anymore. I care differently, I said. About myself. He watched as I walked away. On stage, Nathan leaned over. Everything okay? Yes, I said. You seemed calm, he said. That's rare in reunions. I practiced, I replied. After the panel, Nathan smiled. You handled those questions well. Thank you, I said. You're sharp, he added. Confident. I worked for it, I replied. Across the room, I saw Daniel watching me laugh. I didn't look away. Later, my phone buzzed. Can we talk now? I read it once. Then I locked my phone and slipped it into my bag. Walking toward the exit, I felt something settle inside me. I didn't feel victorious. I felt finished. I no longer needed answers, apologies, or explanations. And somewhere behind me, Daniel was realizing that the woman he once controlled no longer existed, and that loss frightened him more than anything else ever could. I didn't go looking for Daniel's downfall. It found me anyway. Emma, Marcus said when he spotted me in the hotel lobby. Can we talk? I hesitated. About work? About life, he replied. Saturday, make it quick. He rubbed his hands together. Things aren't smooth. With who? I asked. He gave a dry laugh. Take a guess. I stayed quiet. Sophia runs everything now, he said. Accounts, decisions, even meetings. That was always her plan, I said. He looked at me sharply. You knew. I suspected, I replied. She checks his phone, Marcus continued. Questions every expense. That sounds exhausting, I said. For him, Marcus added. Not for her. I watched my coffee cool. Why tell me this? Because he talks about you, Marcus said. Still. That's not my problem, I replied. He says you were different, Marcus said. You trusted him. I smiled faintly. That was my mistake. Marcus sighed. He regrets it. I stood. Regret doesn't fix damage. Later that night, Lily called. Are you alone? She asked. Yes, I said. I shouldn't be telling you this, she whispered. But I can't watch him sink. You're not responsible for him, I replied. He's miserable, she said. Sophia controls everything, even who he sees. Does he let her? I asked. Yes, she said. Because he's afraid. I closed my eyes. Afraid of what? Losing status, she said. Admitting he chose wrong. Silence filled the line. He misses you, Lily added. More than he admits. That doesn't change anything, I said. I know, she said quickly. I just thought you should know the truth. What truth? I asked. That he didn't stop loving you, she said. He just loved himself more. That landed harder than I expected. Why tell me now? I asked. Because he thinks if things fall apart, you'll save him, she said. I laughed softly. I already paid that price. She exhaled. So, you won't help? I won't interfere, I said. There's a difference. Isn't that cruel? She asked. No, I replied. It's fair. After the call, I stared at my reflection in the dark window. Do I step in? I asked myself. Or, do I stay silent? My phone buzzed. A message from Daniel. I feel like I'm drowning. I typed. Then learned to swim. I didn't send it. Nathan called instead. Dinner tomorrow? Yes, I said. You sound distracted, he said. I heard some old news, I replied. Do you want to talk about it? He asked. No, I said. I want to move forward. He smiled through the phone. Then I'll see you tomorrow. I ended the call and set the phone down. Daniel's message stayed unread. I realized something important in that moment. Helping him wouldn't make me kind. It would make me complicit. He made choices with open eyes. I suffered through them quietly. Now the weight belonged to him. I chose silence again, not because I was weak, but because I was done paying for lessons he refused to learn. Karma didn't need my hands. It just needed time. Daniel found me outside the cafe, after work. Emma, he said, breathless. Please. I need 5 minutes. I stopped walking. You already took 7 years. He flinched. I deserve that. I crossed my arms. Say what you came to say. He swallowed. I was wrong. I waited. I thought you'd always be there, he continued. I thought you were steady. Predictable. I said nothing. I didn't realize steady meant strong, he said. I underestimated you. The word hung between us. I chose safety, he went on. Money. Status. Approval. I stayed silent. And I lost everything real, he said. I see that now. Across the street, through the glass, I saw Nathan watching us. He didn't interrupt. He just waited. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Because I can't breathe anymore, Daniel said. Because every night I wonder what would have happened if I chose you. I felt something twist inside me, not pain, but grief. You're unhappy, I said. Yes, he admitted quickly. She controls everything. My phone, my accounts, my choices. And yet, I said, you still chose her. He lowered his head. I thought love could wait. I almost laughed. You always thought I'd wait, I said. I was wrong, he said. Please tell me I was wrong. I looked at him carefully. His eyes were tired. Honest. Too late. I did wait, I said. Long enough to become someone you don't recognize. His voice broke. I miss you. I closed my eyes for a second. Inside, I mourned the girl who once dreamed of hearing those words. She would have forgiven you, I said softly. He looked up. And you? I'm not her anymore, I replied. He stepped closer. Can we start over? I opened my eyes. No. Why not? He asked desperately. I'm being honest now. I know, I said. That's why this hurts less. He stared at me. You don't love me. I love who I was, I said. And I won't betray her again. Silence stretched. I ruined this, he whispered. Yes, I said simply. He nodded, tears forming. I'm sorry. I believe you, I replied. That surprised him. Then why does this feel final? He asked. Because apology isn't a bridge, I said. It's an ending. Nathan stepped closer then. Emma? I turned. I'm coming. Daniel looked past me at Nathan. Is he? Someone who sees me, I said. Daniel exhaled slowly. I never did. That's the truth, I replied. I took a step back. Goodbye, Daniel. He didn't reach for me this time. As I walked away, my chest felt light. No shaking. No anger. Just release. Nathan fell into step beside me. Are you okay? Yes, I said. I really am. He nodded. You didn't look back. I didn't need to, I replied. Behind me, regret finally knocked on Daniel's door. I didn't answer. Not because I was cruel, but because I had already mourned that love. I had already buried the woman who waited. And the woman walking forward now didn't carry pain anymore. She carried choice, and that made all the difference. I watched the news feed scroll across my laptop. Sophia Collins' company merger halted due to mismanagement. The headline read. I didn't smile. Daniel Harper resigns amid financial scandal. Another flashed. I leaned back in my chair. My hands were still. My chest didn't race. Rachel's call came through. Emma, did you see this? I see it, I said quietly. Can you believe it? She asked. All their power crumbling. It wasn't my doing, I said. No, she said. But silence works wonders. I closed the laptop. Silence and patience, I added. I stayed quiet long enough for truth to surface naturally. She laughed softly. And you grew stronger while it happened. I did, I said. I finally see how much I lost and how much I gained. Rachel hesitated. Are you okay with how far this went? I never wanted revenge, I said. I only wanted my life back. Karma didn't need me to push it. It just needed time. Wise, she said. Much wiser than me at your age. I rested my chin in my hands. I stayed too long. I trusted too much. I blamed myself for years. You don't anymore, Rachel said firmly. I forgive myself, I whispered. For believing, for waiting, for giving more than I should have. I forgive myself for being human. Emma, Rachel's voice softened. You've truly changed. I smiled faintly. I hope so. Later, at the office, Nathan stopped by. You seem calm today. I am, I said. Things settled themselves. He glanced at my laptop. The news? Yes, I said. They got themselves caught. No gossip. No vindictive plans. Just reality. You're handling it beautifully, he said. I've learned, I said. Watching isn't the same as waiting. Silence can be louder than any scream. He nodded. I see that. And you didn't scream at all. No, I said. I didn't need to. Later, I walked through the city streets. The wind felt different. Sharp, but clean. I remembered the hours I spent crying alone, replaying Daniel's words, his excuses, his calm cruelty. I remembered my own silence back then, how it protected him and hurt me. Now, I understood. Silence doesn't mean weakness. Silence means control. I stopped by the cafe where Daniel once waited for me to explain myself. I smiled at the memory. Not bitter, not cruel. Just reflective. I whispered to the empty chair across from me. I forgive myself. Rachel called again. So proud of you. Thank you, I said. Really? I don't need their downfall to feel whole. I only needed to reclaim me. The city moved around me. Cars, people, noises, but I moved differently. Quiet, measured, untouchable. I finally understood the truth. I didn't need to expose them. I didn't need revenge. Silence, patience, and self-respect did it all. And for the first time, I felt entirely free. No anger, no sorrow, just the satisfaction of a life rebuilt, not by chaos, but by my own quiet strength. I walked into the boardroom and paused at the head of the table. This is our agenda, I said, my voice steady. Let's begin. Nathan Brooks looked at me with a small, approving smile. You've come a long way. I nodded. We all have responsibilities. The room filled with familiar faces, some who once ignored me, some who doubted me. Emma, Marcus said quietly. I didn't expect this. You're looking at it now, I replied. Let's focus on results. I guided the discussion, listening, asking precise questions, and offering solutions. The power I felt wasn't loud. It was quiet, methodical, steady. After the meeting, Lily slipped into my office. I wanted to thank you, she said softly. For what? I asked. For not destroying Daniel publicly, she said. He's humbled enough. I smiled faintly. Growth doesn't need an audience. She nodded, her eyes glistening. You've changed everything. I've changed myself, I said. That's enough. She hesitated. He regrets everything. I know, I replied. And it's not my responsibility to fix him. Lily looked down. I wish I could do half of what you did. You already have potential, I said. You just need clarity. Later, Nathan joined me for lunch. Busy day. Yes, I said, but satisfying. He studied me. You're calm, confident, different. I stopped waiting for validation, I said. It changes how everything feels. He smiled. It's refreshing. Being around you, I mean. I looked at him carefully. No expectations. No pressure. Just company. That's rare, he said. And appreciated. I laughed softly. I like it that way. Love shouldn't feel dangerous. He reached across the table. It doesn't have to. My phone buzzed. A headline about Daniel appeared briefly. I ignored it. Still not checking? Nathan asked. No, I said. The past doesn't need my attention. Only my choices matter now. He nodded. Good answer. I walked him to the door. I'm learning that strength isn't in proving people wrong. It's in living well despite them. Sounds like power, he said. Quiet power, I corrected. Not loud, not explosive. Just real. He smiled again. And safe. Yes, I said. For the first time, love feels safe. Later, sitting in my office alone, I reflected on the journey. Every betrayal, every heartbreak, every silent moment of waiting, all of it had led here. I was no longer the woman who needed answers or apologies. I was Emma Wright, steady, strong, and untouchable. I glanced at the city through the window. The lights felt softer, warmer. Power, I realized, wasn't the ability to control others. It was the ability to control myself. And for the first time, I didn't just survive, I thrived. I didn't expect to see Daniel again. Emma, he said softly, standing in the doorway. I didn't move. Daniel. He looked older, tired, regret visible in every line of his face. I came to apologize. I nodded slowly. I hear you. I don't expect forgiveness, he said quickly. I just need you to know I'm sorry. I studied him. I accept your apology. He blinked. But I don't accept you back, I said calmly. Not now, not ever. His shoulders slumped. I thought maybe after all this I would never wait again, I said softly. I waited once. It broke me. I won't repeat it. He stepped closer. Emma, No, I said, holding up a hand. I won't listen to excuses. I won't let them matter anymore. He swallowed. I was blind. Foolish. I underestimated you. I know, I said. And you'll remember that every day. Not because I told you, but because you lost me. He nodded, a small tremor in his lips. I do. I will. I stepped past him toward the door. Daniel, we were never equal. You had control, I gave trust. That ended long ago. I understand, he whispered. You will? I said. And that's your life now. He looked down. I deserve this. Yes, I said. But it's not cruelty. It's clarity. He didn't speak again. His eyes followed me as I left the room. Outside, the air was crisp. My chest didn't ache. My hands weren't shaking. Nathan appeared from behind a pillar. All set, he asked. I nodded. Yes. Completely. He smiled, but didn't need to say anything. I felt it in the quiet understanding between us. I walked past the city streets I once imagined sharing with Daniel, each step lighter than the last. I thought about all the moments I had wasted, waiting for him to realize my worth, waiting for words I'd never need again. My phone buzzed with a message I didn't open. I had no interest in returning, no interest in revisiting. The realization hit me fully. The greatest revenge I could ever have wasn't anger, wasn't exposure, it was freedom. And I finally had it. I smiled faintly to myself. Calmly, gently, completely. Daniel lost me forever. And in losing me, he carried the weight of every choice he had made, while I carried only peace. For the first time in years, I felt untouchable. The past was behind me. The future waited quietly, patiently. I had let go completely. And that was my victory. I sat by the window, sunlight spilling across the desk. My laptop hummed quietly. A message popped up on my phone. Daniel. I stared at it. My fingers hovered. I didn't flinch. Months had passed. I had rebuilt myself quietly, deliberately. No drama, no revenge, no frantic waiting. Nathan leaned against the doorway. You okay? Yes, I said. I'm more than okay. He raised an eyebrow. More than okay? I'm free, I said. Free from expectations, from pain, from the need for validation from people who never deserved it. He smiled softly. Sounds like you're reborn. I laughed lightly. Exactly. Reborn. Rachel called earlier. Emma, you sound different. Calm, confident. I've learned, I said. Waiting for apologies doesn't heal. Taking control of myself does. Nathan stepped closer. You've changed everything. I had to, I replied. I can't define myself by what I lost, only by what I became. My phone buzzed again. Another message from Daniel. I didn't open it. I used to tremble at his words. I said softly. Used to wonder if I'd made a mistake leaving. But I don't anymore. Nathan nodded. So you won't read it? No, I said. It doesn't matter. His regret isn't my responsibility. I tapped and deleted the message without reading. A small, satisfying click. See, I said. Freedom feels lighter than any revenge could. Nathan watched me with admiration. You really chose yourself. I did, I said, letting the words sink in. Every choice, every step, every silence led me here. To this moment. I glanced around the apartment. Boxes unpacked. Photos of new friends. New memories. A life that belonged only to me. Emma, Nathan said softly. You look happy. I am, I said. Not because I made him regret me, not because I proved anyone wrong, but because I finally proved myself right. I closed my eyes and breathed. The sunlight warmed my face. I am enough, I whispered. I always was. The city outside hummed, but inside, there was stillness. I didn't need applause. I didn't need recognition. I only needed me. My phone lay on the table. Empty.
Clean.
Free of the past. I smiled faintly. Not because he would miss me, not because he understood, but because I had chosen myself. And that choice was my rebirth. I opened the window and let the breeze brush my face. Finally, completely, I was free.